We've reached game 82 of the NBA's regular season. The top four seeds in the East, they are set. Leaving 5 through 10 to be determined, the Hawks have already clinched a top 6 spot, leaving the Raptors, Magic, and Sixers to battle out the final automatic playoff spot in the East. Less drama out west. The Lakers, they need a win against the Jazz and a Nuggets loss to the Spurs to overtake Denver for the 3 seed. Denver, the hottest team in the association, though, right now. Nuggets, Spurs, 8:30 Eastern tonight on ESPN. On the individual level, Nikola Jokic, questionable for tonight. He needs to play at least 15 minutes to qualify for postseason honors. Overall, 6 of the 9 active former MVPs currently ineligible for season awards entering Sunday. Quinton Richardson, very much eligible to join the program this morning. Q, fantastic to see you. Good morning. The Nuggets, the hottest team in the league. They are on an 11-game win streak. Win, and the 3 seed is theirs. How big of a threat, if in your estimation they are a threat, are they to the Thunder in the playoffs?
Oh, Denver are a very legitimate threat to the Thunder in the playoffs. Right now, they hadn't been really healthy with Aaron Gordon and a lot of their guys most of the season, and now they've hit a stretch where they've gotten healthy. They've got most of their guys back, and that's probably why they're the hottest team in the league with the 11-game win streak. But I absolutely believe that Denver, I mean, you have to remember, last year they took them 7 games, and anything could have happened in that 7 game. OKC pulled it out and got it done. But Denver is capable of beating, I feel like, the Thunder or the Spurs in these playoffs. So they are legitimate to me.
All right, Q, there are plenty of games today on the slate that have seeding implications for the playoffs. What particular matchup are you most interested in?
I only care about the Knicks and the Hornets game. Literally, I don't know what needs to happen, but whatever needs to happen to make it where the Pistons play the Hornets. This is what I want to see. We haven't seen this in the league. I feel like these two teams genuinely don't like each other. This was earlier in the season where they had a little dust up. Then they played not last night, but Friday night, and it was a little riff-raff then. So I mean, I feel like these two teams genuinely don't like each other. They didn't want to shake hands after the game. It was a lot of obscenities being shared between the two teams during the game, and I just want to see a full series of it. I get excited about a little bit of that ruffling it up.
It's nice to see a little bit of that throwback or old school chippiness where all the dudes don't have to be friends on the court or off the court, for that matter. Friend of the program, Quinton Richardson, joins us this morning on SC. Q, much appreciated.
Yes, sir, fellas.
All right.
Or in the tunnel.
True. Tunnels.
Or anywhere.
Yeah.
Hey, today's the final day of that NBA regular season playoff positioning. As we said, very much on the line in these 2 big games. Our ESPN doubleheader starts at 6 Eastern with the Magic and the Celtics, and then the Spurs host the Nuggets. It's Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq tipping off coverage at 5. They'll also be back at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, to break it all down.
Randy, that is this afternoon. This is this evening. What to watch tonight, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. Nuggets in San Antonio to take on the Spurs to wrap up the regular season. Nikola Jokic, questionable, needs to play at least 15 minutes to qualify for postseason honors. The Spurs already locked into the 2 seed in the West. If the Nuggets win, they are your 3 seed. Right now, you get NBA analyst Tim Legler joining the program. Legs, fantastic to see you. You are on the call tonight. Nuggets, Spurs, San Antonio, 30-3 since February 1st. How do you view them going into the playoffs?
Well, I look at them as a team that has changed their narrative throughout the course of the season. I think early on, you saw that they were going to arrive faster than we thought. Didn't think they would necessarily get to be a championship contender over the course of the season, but that's exactly what they are. This is a team that has enough this year to win the whole thing. Certainly on that short list of teams that can get it done because they've got great depth. They've got a team that, defensively can win games for them, even on nights when they don't make shots. Top 4 in the league on both ends of the floor, a superstar that they have built around, and just a toughness about them and a chemistry that I absolutely love. Incredibly well coached. So there's no weaknesses here. They check every box, and they're poised, and they believe they can make a deep playoff run and even get to the finals and win the whole thing. They don't think that they've got to pause this thing and wait a couple of years. They think their time has arrived, and this Wembanyama era begins now in terms of being a title threat.
The Nuggets are only a couple seasons removed from being NBA champions, and they're approaching the playoffs as the hottest team in the NBA. They have an 11-game win streak. How do you view Denver heading into the second season?
Also on a short list of teams that could potentially make a run and get the whole thing. But they're a little bit different. They're going to do it because they've got a prolific offense. And this is the number one offense in the league. And now that they've got all of their pieces back, and they've got some guys here sort of nicked up at the end of the season, but they selectively were resting them, including today, to get ready for their playoff run. So I think for the most part, they're going to be whole, and that's the key. When they've got all hands on deck, this is an offense that when they get humming is almost impossible to slow down. That's how they're going to control the narrative for their postseason run. It's going to be offensively. They're just an absolute juggernaut. So this is a team, again, has played themselves now into position. We have to treat them a little bit differently. They had so many injuries throughout the year, you weren't really sure if they were going to be on par with teams like San Antonio and Oklahoma City. But their offense gives them a chance every night against teams like that as well. So you have to include Denver in the mix of teams that could potentially host a parade.
Their fourth and final meeting in the regular season finale against the San Antonio Spurs, and the Nuggets, 2 wins against the Spurs in the 3 meetings. Tim Legler on the call tonight. Spurs Nuggets to end the regular season. Thanks, Legs.
Appreciate it.
See the baseball.
And there's some playoff spots on the line in each conference. Now, the Raptors, they're in the driver's seat. Earn that final top 6 seed in the East. All they need to do, win today against Brooklyn or have the Magic 76ers lose to each other in their games. Then you've got the Lakers. They're in a tight battle with Denver, 3rd in the West. With a win and a Nuggets loss tonight, Lakers will clinch that 3 seed and a first-round date with the Timberwolves for the 2nd straight season. Bring in our NBA analyst, Quinton Richardson. He joins us now here on SportsCenter. Okay, Q, so final day of the regular season. Still a lot to be determined here when we talk about storylines and the playoffs. Give me your top 3 storylines, your Q&A, if you will, here, what you're watching on the last day of the regular season.
Well, for sure, like you just said, it's a lot of playoff seedings and all of these different things going on. So for me, at the top of the list, it's the East play-in seeding. You got the Raptors, you got the Magic, you got the 76ers, all fighting and jockeying on this last day for that last 6 spots. So to make sure they're not in the play-in tournament, because we know the play-in tournament, you could end up going home and don't get a playoff. So they have to all go out there and try and handle biz and win these games, and they can't take it like it's not a real game for the playoffs. This is the playoffs today for these teams. Secondly, the West playoff seeding. They seeding is not settled, as you just got through saying. You got the Lakers and the Nuggets fighting for the 3rd seed, and that could be the difference between them having to play, the Houston Rockets at that 4 or 5 seed, or the team just coming out of that play-in tournament. So if you Denver, you want to try and shore that up and get to the top, but the Lakers do too. The last thing is the health of the Lakers. Going into the playoffs, Luka and Austin Reeves not being right is not good for them. I mean, we know LeBron can turn it up to another level, when he showed that in a couple games that he went back to the lead role. But even with that being said, LeBron needs the help of Luka and Austin Reeves, and not both, one of them for sure, for them to be able to try and make a move and move on in the playoffs, I believe.
Okay, so since it is the final day of the regular season, we always talk about the awards there. And you look at Rookie of the Year, the odds have gone back and forth between Duke teammates Cooper Flag, Con Knippel. Who are you taking Rookie of the Year, and why?
Hey, I'm with you, BC. I've been back and forth. I've been up on Con, up on Cooper. I say, man, listen, give them the co-rookie of the year. They both roommates, best buds from Duke, the brotherhood. They were roommates last year. They both having crazy great years. I think Con, obviously his team is in position to make the playoffs, so you give him the nod there. But I think individually, Cooper has had probably a more impressive season. So I think that those kind of balance the scales with the difference with him not making the playoffs and with Con making the playoffs, and Con being on the playoff team, even though their averages are what they are. I say give them the co-rookie of the year. I think they both would love that. They good friends. I think it'll be, something cool for them.
Yeah, you're right about that. Obviously, Cooper Flag certainly has led the Mavs here, but Con Knippel has shot the 3 probably better than anybody.
Yes, he has. He's gone crazy.
You're right about that. Look, by the way, there have been co-rookies of the year 3 times in the NBA. The last time, Elton Brand, Steve Francis, that was in the 99-2000 season. Q Rich, thank you, man.
This is new on SportsCenter. Mary Louise